Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jamal. Hope you guys are all doing well. Now, I know you guys know that I told y'all in the next video that I'd be installing the heads in the intake, but we're pushing that a little bit more because I've been kind of busy lately with school, finally finishing, graduating, and starting my first real job, if you want to call it that. But anyways, today what we're doing is we're actually going to be changing the axle back on the Corvette. Now, I know this might come as a surprise to some of you guys because I do still love the Billy Boat exhaust, my B&B bullets on my Corvette, but there's two big complaints I have with it. One being it drones so bad on the highway. I know you guys are probably like, oh, what a baby, it's complaining about the noise. The car sounds amazing, but honestly, like if I want to take a friend out with me, or if I want to give one of my parents a ride in the car is so loud, and the drone is just insane, man. And then number two, something you guys might not think about, I guess, is the exhaust is actually so loud and so deep that it kind of drowns out the choppiness of the cam in the car. So in an effort to bring back some of the choppiness in the cam, make it sound better at idle, in an effort to hopefully get rid of my drone, I started looking into a CORSA system, a CORSA Extreme system particularly. Now, the thing was with the CORSA Extreme, it's pretty expensive new. I think they're around $1,200, and that was just too much for me to justify spending on a new exhaust when the bullets were okay for what I had. So what I ended up doing was I just started browsing local Craigslist, Facebook, stuff like that to try to find a used system. I told myself that if I could find a used CORSA system, I would buy it and I would switch the exhaust out. So the opportunity finally came. Someone was selling a CORSA system locally. Now, it wasn't the Extreme system that I wanted, unfortunately, but it is a CORSA Sport system, and after some contemplating and after realizing that with it being local, it would be probably about the same price I paid for the bullets used, so I ended up and bought the CORSA Sport exhaust. So we're going to be swapping that onto the Corvette today. It shouldn't be too bad because I do not have the stock axleback on the car right now. If the stock C5Z axleback, you have to put the car in a lift. You have to get it really high and able to rotate it out without cutting the exhaust up. But since I do have an aftermarket exhaust, I should be able to do it on jack stands, no problem. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the exhaust that I got now. So here's the exhaust that I picked up used. As you guys can tell, it is the Sport exhaust system from the tips. A thing with CORSA is that they have three different models they make. I guess there's the Sport, there's the Tiger Shark, and there's the Extreme system. And they each have unique exhaust tips coming out of the muffler, and so that's how you're able to tell them apart. So this here is actually the Sport system. You have the one of the mufflers there, dual tip with the polished tips, and then you have your two over axle pipes here. So normally on the stock system, I don't have it right now to show you guys, but the over axle pipe and the mufflers are all one piece, and so you have to get the car really high up, like I said, to rotate it out without having to cut it up. But since this is a two-piece design, we shouldn't have to get it that high, and we should be able to change it out with relative ease. So let's go ahead and jack the car up and get started. Another thing to note is I am kind of, I guess, racing the sunset today to try to get this done, but hopefully it shouldn't take long, and we should be able to knock it out, and I should be able to get you guys some sound clips as well. Alright guys, so I got the car in the air. First thing I'm going to do is loosen these two clamps here, and then there's hangers that hold the backside of the exhaust on. You can see there, yeah, kind of right there through the bumper. Those are 13 millimeter that hold the hangers on, and then these clamp bolts here are 15 millimeter bolts. So we're gonna undo those real quick, and then we should be able to get that rear section off, and then we'll move on to the over axle pipes. After some twisting and pulling, I was able to get that rear section off. You can see the difference there. This one actually has a muffler on it, and this one's just straight through. So we're gonna do the same thing with the other side to get it off. Alright guys, so I got the other side off. A lot of wiggling, a lot of it to get it off, that we can see that we no longer have a rear section on the car. And so now we just have to disconnect it at the X pipe. Looking at the to get these over axle pipes off, we're basically just gonna have to undo the bolts there. The X pipe is actually threaded for those bolts, so there's no nut on the other end of it. You just have to undo the bolt and the over axle pipe should come right off. So we're gonna go ahead and do that now. I was able to undo those two bolts, as you can see there, using the 6-inch extension on my impact gun, and then I used a swivel, little swivel socket thing. These little adapters can be bought at Harbor Freight for like less than 10 bucks, and they're impact too, so those are a lifesaver. And then just a 15mm socket on the end there, and we can see that it's completely undone, and I just basically have to pull it out now and it should come right out. So I'm gonna put the camera down and try to maneuver this, but it should come right out. Rookie mistake, but looks like we do have to undo the sway bar bushings here. So these are just held on with two 18mm bolts. So we're just gonna, with the sway bar hanging, after you undo it, the sway bar kind of hangs there. I was able to get the over axle pipes rotated out of the way, and I got the whole axleback system off now. So the sun is getting really low. It's pretty much set now, so I'm gonna have to kind of rush to put this back on. So I'm not gonna show you too much of the process because it's relatively the same. So I'm gonna hurry up and try to get this put back on, and then hopefully we should get some clips. Alright guys, so it ended up getting really dark. I wasn't really able to see anything by the time I'd finished installing the exhaust, so I couldn't really get you any other footage of the actual install. But today is the next day. I drove the car to work, and I'm proud to report that there is a little to almost no drone with this new exhaust system, so I'm really happy about that. It actually sounds a lot more different than I thought it would. It's actually really surprising at the difference in sound and tone of the exhaust. But yeah, that's gonna pretty much do it for this video. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Please comment, like, subscribe, and then stick around to the end. I'm gonna put the exhaust comparison between the B&B Bullets and the Corsa here at the end, just so that if people didn't want to see all the talking bits, they could skip to that part in this video, because I know that was a common complaint with the first exhaust video I made. So anyways guys, I hope you guys did enjoy it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.